Oh, hey, there we go. All right, now we're there. But now we need a screen. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, there it is. Okay, for everybody coming in on the social channel, I tried to set up a timer. So once it went live, it gave a few minutes, or a minute actually, or 30 seconds, I think is what I had it set at. But I screwed the pooch on that, so I have to work on it. Again, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Morning, NSH. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Vern. Good morning. Hey, Daryl. Okay. What do we have going on here? So, last night market close video. If anyone watched that video, and if you didn't, please do leave a thumbs up. That's very helpful for the YouTube channel and just overall. I pointed out that in the market here, we have a hangman. I love the chart pattern. Okay, I love this. I love the way we've gone up and we've just gone sideways. I like the ascending triangle. Everything really looks good. It really does. But candlesticks, they kind of throw a candlestick out there. Could be bullish, could be, doji, could be bearish, could be a hangman. And I do pay attention to candlesticks pretty much a lot. And so that, in last night's video, I talked about some, caution and, hey, a little bit there. And then I also pointed out, looky here, look, whoops, it's not what I wanted. See, here's a hangman right here. Here's one, and you can see what happened. Okay. So you can see why I might've mentioned it in the video here. Now, there's absolutely no guarantee. Candlesticks, I wish they were 100%. I do. We would all be crazy wealthy if they were. Just like chart patterns, just like trend lines, just like your rules, just like everything. You'd be, oh man, it'd be insane. So I want to watch this real closely today. Now today's my day off, so I'll only be here an hour and a half or so. So the main thing is that we can close, above that trend line there. That's what we need to do. So above the T line, basically, we need to do that. If we close below the T line, it starts a little bit of weakness coming in there, and the market might need to pull back. So let's just, focus on that hangman there and focus on today's candle. And we need to close respectably. Okay. Respectably. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right. Let's see. Oh, Daryl says Facebook is up. Meta, right? Yeah, Meta's doing great here. Meta's doing fantastic. So excellent there. Okay, I've got some charts here for us to look at. Let's take a look at these. Here we'll start. My conscience gave me some this morning, so let's take a look at those. ANET, take a look at ANET here, setting up, maybe headed to that 50-period moving average, and then above that, we'll take a look at that one. Take a look at Mitch. Mitch. There we go. Yeah, Mitch has already turned up over the 50-period moving average, so we've got a nice cross of price, the 8 EMA, and the Trendicator here crossing up over that 50-period moving average. That's pretty nice. Take a look at Oracle, man. Look at Oracle here. You think that's set up? I do. Here, let's do this one. I'm going to take this high right here and go right there. Okay. Here is the 50% retracement area, also the 50-period moving average. Now, here's something I played with last night, and I'm not sure I'm going to keep this, but it's something to maybe help people. Might help me too. But this goes. I think what I want to do, because I use the Trendicator so much, and or the T line, I might use that sometimes. I'll go from those moving averages up to one box above the 50% retracement. That's the 61.8 fib retracement here. So that is the ball field. That is the game in here. That's where, when I look for a trade, that's my game plan. Right in this area. Everything will be done in that area. And this would be absolutely max trade. Now, I'm not at all saying that Oracle can't go higher. We know it can. But for me setting up my trade plan, that is my trade plan right there. It will be in that area right there. And if you were at yesterday's member e-learning, I talked about my trade plan where, we've got to look at market, price action, trend, entry, taking profits. We looked at all that. So you might want to watch that video and it's out there for you. So, we'll take a look at that. Maybe we'll talk about it again too. Okay. All right. I've got some charts over here that I want to talk about that might be setting up, and take a look at this. Take a look at SEAT. Look at SEAT, SEAT. We've been trading these kind of off the bottom here this week a little bit. And that's because the market is so far down and there's so many of these stocks that's beat up, oversold. And now that the market is rising, it will bring some of these back. Now, I'm not looking for big runs. I'm not looking for home runs unless you think 40% is a home run, and then okay. But what I'm looking for is to make a respectable amount of money. And what I'm going to do with that, man, this might be kind of high, but we'll see. Oh, that's not too bad. So take on this chart right here. Wow, it's going to be high, but it is what it is. So this would be the trade box right there. That's the playground. Now that's 186%. I know that's insane. I mean, that's crazy. Well, it's just crazy. Whoops, it's not what I wanted. Sorry about that. There we go. There is the, whoops. Man, I'm frazzled here. There's the 50% retracement. So here's a chart setting up off the bottom, and it absolutely can get to this level up here and even to that 61.8 retracement over there. Just follow that price, and we want to take profits into strength. So as it starts moving up, some profit areas would be right there. Okay. And you can see that's right where these candles stopped moving up, right where these stopped moving down, and the 50 period moving average. And besides, my God, 35%, take some profits off the table. Don't be greedy here. So SEAT is setting up. Take a look at Bidu. That's setting. I've already got that one done. Now Bidu's gapping up, and that's okay. So those that like to trade gaps, you can certainly trade that gap. Below the 50 period moving average would be a good stop on that. And then we've got that 50% retracement target here at 3% and on up to that 61.8. Might be a nice trade for Bidu as well. Take a look at MP. MP is setting up, and that's also gapping up. So, watch for that entry on this. I would cross my fingers and hope that there's a pullback for a better entry. And then say an entry all around that 63.25. We get up here to the 50% retracement. There's 21%. Of course, it's going to have to clear the 50 period moving average. It's also going to have to clear 69.70. But that's setting up a trade plan right there. After yesterday's members e-learning, I had several people get a hold of me and want to talk more about this trade plan, and we'll do this in the room. So we'll do it for everybody, because they were basically not using a trade plan. And, they were finding trade ideas, or, using some of ours, that, and all of ours here in the room, that are put out in the room. And with that, they weren't really planning that trade out or doing anything with it, like this. So they asked me if we could get together and do this. Of course, I said yes. So we'll be doing it in the room a little bit more too, and maybe folks in the room here can share how they do it. We'll do that next week sometime. Um, but UU is still setting up. We've looked at that in the room. We've talked about it. We've traded it. Some people have made money on it. I still think it has room to go here, and we're going to take that box just above the 50% retracement, which is the 61.8, and right there is the trade playground. So let's do this. If it does, if UUU was to move up, then it's tradable. Take some profits off the table, manage the chart on the way up. Well, what if it doesn't go up, say today? What if it actually goes down? That's okay. It's still in the trade box. It's still on the court. It's still in the field. And from here, we don't want it to break out. That would be bad. What we want is for the buyers to step in, and buyers, so maybe be a buyer kind of a thing. Always trade your chart, though, your plan. Don't trade anybody else's. But I say that, but we all learn from other people. So, I mean, that's what trading is about. I don't care if you go to classes. I don't care if you read books. I don't care if you watch videos, or have private coaching or anything like that. Or if you're just in the room hanging out and you're watching a trade, you're learning from other people. So what you want to do is learn all this stuff and then tweak it to make it comfortable for you. That's the key. You have to be comfortable with it. For instance, some people wouldn't buy this until it broke out of that yesterday's candlestick, 1643. There's going to be some people that wouldn't touch it until it pulls back a little bit. There's going to be some people that wouldn't touch it till it gets over the 50-period moving average. And that's okay. If that is the way you trade, if that is what makes you comfortable, you do that. You want to perfect what you do. You don't want to perfect what somebody else does. But remember, we learn from everybody. So, follow along and then tweak it to make it yours. So anyway, I think UUU is still a great looking chart, as long as it stays within this playground right in here. And it can go higher. All I'm saying, I know for me personally, it would be ridiculous for me to take this and put it up here. That would be, I mean, I would expect all the members in the room ask, what the hell are you doing, Rick? You're never going to trade that way up there. You're right. I'm not. I mean, I might buy it right here and move higher, but I'm not going to buy it here and hold it here. Never going to do that. It's not what I do. And I'm comfortable with that. Okay. Take a look at Crwv, CRWV. I like that one. I like what that's looking like. So there's the playground in it right there. Almost, a little inside day. I love that. A little bit of a pullback. To me, that's complete buy territory. It's a buy right now. And then from here, say bought in this area, up to that 50-period moving average is over 26.5%. So that's looking really good. Mike, USAR, thank you. I forgot to write that down. But that is one that last night I must have missed it putting on my little list here. So thank you. Yeah, USAR, rocking. So what would we do with that? Well, it's the same thing. There you go. There's the playground. My God, from this bottom to the top is 110%. And look, if we're up over the trend indicator, you're not going to get that 110% if it made it here. But you have to have an anchor. You have to be consistent with what you do. So my consistency here is, I'm going to delete this. It would be easier to do it. My consistency is to always start with an anchor at the bottom. Price can't be an anchor because price moves all over the place. Well, I guess it could be. It's just not what I would use as an anchor, okay? I'm going to use either the 8 EMA or the trend indicator, and that may vary depending on the chart. But we're talking pennies. Boy, that didn't work out so well, did it? There we go. And then I'm going to go to, there we are. I'm going to go to that, again, like I said, that one block above the 50%, which is the 61.8 retracement up there. So that is the playground, okay? Let's see here. Let's look at Sono. So S-O-U-N. There we go. Look at Sono. I'm going to redo this one completely. So let's come up here, take that high, right? Come down and take this low. And now, here's the 50% mark right there. And let's put our playground on there. Something like that. I'll move that over a little bit. There we go. So there's our playground. Now trade. And right there would be that 1340, one of our lines here that we use. That 1340 area, target area, resistance area, we get over at buy area, and it is in buy territory right now. Very nice 3-8 trap. Next line up, maybe this would be a good target area around that $15 area, and then of course the 50 period moving average, then of course that 50% retracement. So anyway, that's what I'm looking for there. Okay. Daryl, you're looking at ELF. Let's take a peek there. ELF. And then when we're in the trading room, maybe we can talk about that and see if you guys like it. I would like your input. Always trying to improve, making trading a little easier. I don't want to make it complicated. So, yeah, don't want to make it complicated. Let's see here. We'll take this top here, maybe come down, and then just so happens it's right at that 50%. And then we'll do it this way. There you go. Now I can get it all. So that would be the playground in ELF. Hey, John, how do you add lines to chart? Give me an uptrending chart. Save me some time looking for one, okay? Throw one at us and I'll show you. So John is asking, how do you put lines on an uptrending chart? And like I say, throw one out there, save me from looking. And then I'll show you how to do it, okay? Mr. Goodson, you're looking at some in-tap. Anybody could throw one out there, by the way. So here's in-tap, and I've already got this one marked out here. I think that is absolutely bullish. That's a buy right in here, okay? Absolute buy. So if we were setting this up, say from down here, then what would we do? We would, whoops, not right there. So right in here, maybe that's what we would be looking at. Let me grab this again. We're going to go up to that area right there. And that was the playground, right? Well, now that we're above that 50% retracement right here, that opens everything up to this area here. You could do something like this. There you go. And I would probably go right here because look at those highs. And that just points out that playground to me. Now, it doesn't mean that I would buy it and hold it all the way up. Absolutely not. No, not for me. I mean, somebody might, but if I buy this here and we get to that level right there, that's 4% on the stock. That's a 10%, which is not anything to jump up and down about overall. But if it puts goals in my pocket, goals, in the basket for the Road to Wealth account to grow more, and maybe it's, say, Friday afternoon, and maybe the market is throwing us a little bit of a hangman, maybe that is showing hangman follow through, well, yeah, I might take those profits off the table. Okay. So let's see, Thomas, RKT, whoops, try that again. our CKT, sorry about that, our CKT, I still did it wrong. RCKT, there you go. RCKT, let's get rid of all this here. All right. So I'm going to put this line on it, and I'm going to go to this top right over here, and we'll go down to the lowest low, which is right here. And that gives us our 50% retracement. Okay, had somebody ask me, why am I so focused on that 50% retracement? This is one of the people that I talked with last night. And I'm focused with that 50% retracement because if you go back and study charts, and let me tell you something, I study charts a lot. You know, when the market closes up, I'm not buying. So my eyes leave the hard right edge, you know, it leaves that hard right edge there. So now I'm free. My mind is free to explore charts and with no bias. But if I'm exploring charts during the day, I have bias because I keep looking. Oh, is it a buy? Is it a buy? Is it a buy? Is it a buy? You know, should I close it? Should I close it? Should I close it? You can't help not to do that. So take the bias away. So I do this in the evening a lot. And I will go back and study charts, and it blows me away how important moving averages are. I mean, I didn't pick this chart. Okay. I didn't pick it. Dave did. Look how from this ugly downtrend, it came back to that 50 period moving average. Look at that. Almost, smack, smack, all the way from here, smack, all the way from here, smack. I mean, it does it. Okay. And then going down, you know, it's going to fall and hit those ledges every time. So you could do the same thing there. Smack, you know, here we smack. We're looking at a downtrending chart. So anyway, and that's true with the 200 period moving average. Once a chart gets a little momentum down here in the bottom, say over that 50 period moving average, then you'll be amazed how many times a chart will run to its 200 period moving average. May fail there, just like we failed over here at the 50 major moving average. It may fail, but you know what? Man, you can make a lot of money here. What do we have here? 32% to the 200. So yeah. So I'm sorry. Let me get back on track here. Where'd you go, Dave? Trying a 2-day rounded bottom breakout. Yeah, that's working out nice. You're right. Rounded bottom breakout there. So yeah, very nice. A lot of sideways here. Looks good. Yeah, looks really good. I think one of the big things it's going to have to get through is that $3.72 level, that line right in there. And then I get it going to another chart, a higher term chart, but you've got to be a higher term chart trader. Okay. So focus on that 2-day chart. That's going to be important because we're not there yet on the daily, and the daily has to get up there. When you take in consideration of all the traders in the world, let me tell you something. The daily chart is their number one chart. That's where I don't care what kind of trader you are. I'll bet you $100 bill. You focus on the daily more than anything there is. So don't fight the crowd. All right. Don't fight the crowd. You know, don't fight the Fed. Don't fight the crowd. What we're doing. Oh, I know what we're doing. JD, thank you. Let's look at that. MD as an example. How would you draw trend lines on a stock that's moving up? Okay, perfect. This is a nice chart, by the way. And I mean, this is a real nice chart. Thank you. So I could draw two things there. And since it's moving down, I'm going to draw this one first. So I'm going to draw from the bottom using the same, what are these called? They're called Fibonacci retracement lines. Okay. So I'm going to use those. Now you can see that 50% retracement, and we're headed that way. We've broken through that first section. That section is the construction section, and here we've broken through that. Now we've landed on that. What is that? 38. Yeah, 38.2. Another fib line right here. The next line down is going to be that 50% mark. Now, for fun, let's do this. let's just say, for instance, the bulls step in right here. Okay. Let's just say that. So the bulls step in. Now let's draw another line on it to see what we can do to the top. Okay. And right now I'm just going to delete this so we don't get them mixed up. I'm going to come over to this Fibonacci projection line, which is the same lines that I use. They're just in the Fibonacci projection line. So remember, we said, assume that the bulls step in right here. So now we're going to draw that up to here. And now we have upside targets. Okay. That's how I do that. Great thing to talk about in the room today. Okay. So remind me while I'm in the room, my morning there. Okay. Great, John. Thank you. Let's look at CTRE. Yeah, CTRE. So here, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take this low, and I'm going to come up to this high right here. Okay. And then I'm going to come to this low right there. So we've got low, high, higher, low projection lines. Low, high, higher, low projection lines. All right. And number one thing for me would be to get over that 50% retracement area. All right. Coach, you're looking at METC. Looks nice. Yes, it does. Look at that. So let's do this. Watch the time. I'm okay. Come down. Simply do that. I wanted, this is just my procedure. Your procedure might, and you may not use any of this, and that's all right. But you may have a procedure, a system that you work with on how you set up a trade plan. And this is part of it. This is not the full trade plan. This is part of it. So that's what I'm going to look at. And then this is something very new for me. I just kind of, from those folks that two people I talked to in a couple emails about last night's trade plan. Very nice. Thank you, by the way, for getting a hold of me. That means a lot, because it means that, all right, we put something out there that was very interesting, and it put something out there that made people think. So I really appreciate knowing that that was something good like that. So thank you. So anyway, there's the trade plan right there. You set up however you would buy it. I mean, everyone's got their buy system. That's not necessarily what we're talking about today on this. And then, I mean, just imagine if it just bought at $20.25, right up to that first line up there, 25.50, that's 25%. On up to the 50, that's 49%. That's smoking hot, man. That is smoking hot. All right, let me go say hi to these guys over here on social media. Thank you for being here. Uptrend charts examples. Yeah, Walmart. Let's look at Walmart. Okay, so here's Walmart. I mean, the thing with Walmart, it needs to pull back to be a trade. So, take these lows and move up like this. And that shows you areas that it might run down to. I'm going to move this up to here. Yeah. So this shows you good areas it might run down to. And that's what we would want to see in Walmart. It hasn't really given us it hasn't given us this is not a good chart to look at higher numbers in my opinion. In my opinion, it doesn't give you good numbers to look at higher using what I'm using here. Okay. J&J. J&J. There you go. I like that one. So we're going to take this low, run right up to that high, and that's where our current low is. So assuming that buyers keep looking at it, then that would be my target. If buyers didn't look at it and the sellers started to drop it, then we would just follow it down until the buyers stepped in, gave us something to hook onto, and then that's what we'd look to trade there. Okay. Oh, hey, Tex. Can you look at sure, yeah, Google? Yeah, Google's looking nice. I mean, if we were to do that with Google, let's do this. Take that low, go up to that top, and then we're going to go to, looks like that's about the lowest, and that's what I would look for on Google. Of course, buyers need to come in there, right? GGLL, beautiful flag. Man, I like GGLL, looks better than Google, if you ask me. We've got a little bit more of some sideways consolidation here. Here, let's do that. We'll take that low and then go to that high. And then looks like right in there is about the low. So that's looking fantastic to me. Yeah, Google right now to me is bullish until it's not. Price is above the 8 EMA. 8 EMA is above the trend indicator. Bullish trend. Okay. Hey, Rickster, BTU. BTU is trying to break out here. Yeah. BTU. I would watch, right there is the 61.8. So you break out, that would be a good target. Then the next target up would be about that 33. That's looking pretty good there above the 50, isn't it? Okay, time-wise, I probably need to get out of here. Members, we'll see you in about 25 minutes or so when the room opens up, okay? You guys all take care. Everybody watching this video right now, later today, later next week, thank you so much. Remember to leave a thumbs up. It's very helpful for the channel. With our algorithms, it pushes it out there. And if you ever get a chance to share it, please do share it, all right? Take care, everyone. Have a great day trading.